welcome all the devotees for the Bhagwatam class. We will continue the Ajamil story, Canto 6, first chapter, 33 number shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrutyam naram cha eva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayo mudire nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki kasya va kutaya ayatah kasmat asya nishedata kim deva apadevaya Yuyam kim siddha sattamah. Word to word meaning. Kasya, whose servant. Va, or. Kuta, from where. Ayatah, how you come. Kasmat, what is the reason. Asya, the taking away of this ajamil. Nishetha, are you forbidding. Kim, whether. Deva, demigods. Apadeva, sub demigods. Yah, who, Yuyam, all of you, Kim, whether, Siddha Sattama, the best of the perfect being, the pure devotees. Deva. Translation. Dear sirs, whose servant are you? Where have you come from? And why are you forbidding us to touch the body of Ajamil? Are you demigods from the heavenly planets? Are you sub-demigods? Or are you the best of devotees? Perfect. The most significant word used in this verse is Siddha Sattama, which means the best of the perfect. In Bhagavad Gita 7.3, it is said, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschiteti siddhaye. Out of millions of persons, one may try to become Siddha, perfect, or in other words, self-realized. A self-realized person knows that he is not the body, but a spiritual soul. Brahmasmi. At the present moment, practically, everyone is unaware of this fact. But one who understands this has attained perfection and is therefore called Siddha. When one understands that the soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Soul, and one thus engages in the devotional service of the Supreme Soul, one becomes Siddha Satatama. One is then eligible to live in the Vaikuntha planets or Krishna Loka. The word Siddha Sattam therefore refers to a replete pure devotee, since the Yamaduta are servants of the Yamraja, who is also one of the Siddha Sattam. They knew that a Siddha Sattama is above the demigods and sub-demigods, and indeed above all the living entities within this material world. The Yamadutas therefore inquired why the Vishnudutas were present where a sinful man was going to die. It should also be noted that Ajamil was not yet dead, for the Yamadutas were trying to snatch the soul from his heart. They could not take the soul, however, and therefore Ajamil was not yet dead. This will be revealed in later verses. Ajamil was simply in an unconscious state when the argument was in progress between the Yamadutas and the Vishnudutas. The conclusion of the argument was to be a decision regarding who would claim the soul of Ajamil. Thus end the purport of the Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Now we will hear the Prabhupada's lecture.
Chapter, text number 33, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on July 18th, 1975, in San Francisco.
Where have you come from, and for what reason are you forbidding us to touch the body of a Janu? Are you coming from the heavenly planets? Are you demigods, sub-demigods, or the best of the perfected devotees?
Kasaba kutayayata kasmat asya nisedata king deva upadevo va young king siddha sattama. Jamaraj, he has been given his jurisdiction on the lower portion of the universe. Patal. Jamaraj is not one of the candidates, but he has been designated to go down and administer the government there. So, Narayana Parasarde na kutasana bimbhati. As like government servant, they have to go anywhere. The government orders, you go and see them. So Jamaraj is although one of the Mahajans, great personality, most confidential devotee, an officer of Krishna. There are 12 great personalities, Lord Brahma, Sambhu, Narada Sambhu, Kumara, Kapila, Mano, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Vaiyasaki, Bhayam. Jamaraj is also one of the 12 exalted officers or representatives of Krishna. But still, he has gone to take charge of the judicial department for judging the sinful, not all, only the sinful. So, these Jamadutas, order carriers of Jamaraj, they are surprised to see how nice, they are good looking. So they are surprised and they are asking questions. Kosava, whose servants you are? We are Jamaraj's servant. You are so ugly looking and you are so beautiful. So whose servants you are? Kosa, who means either whose servant or whose son, like that. Kosava kuto ayato, and where from you are coming? Kosmad, and what is the business? Here you have got, you are so nice looking. We have come to take this sinful man, and what business you have got here? Why you are forbidding us? King Deva, are you demigods or semi-demigods? The upper planetary system, there are gods, demigods. But Juyang King Siddha Sattama. Siddha Sattama means in the spiritual world. Siddha means complete, perfect, and Sattama, devout. Within this material world, there is one Siddha Loka. Siddha, Charana. They are called Siddha means all the yogic mystic powers they have got. Naturally. Here, in this, on the earthly planet, if we want to get some mystic power, we have to practice it by yoga, mystic exercise. But in that planet, Siddha-lok, they are born perfect. Just like if you want to swim in the water, you have to learn it. You have to practice it. But within the sea or water, even a small fish, he can very expertly swim. Born qualification. You cannot go against the current of the sea or the water of the river, but a small fish takes pleasure going against the current. Tulsidas has said that to go against the current is very difficult. Even an elephant is washed away. But a small fish, because he has taken shelter of the ocean, he can go against the current. This is the so, if we take shelter of Krishna, then even the current is against, we can go. Because, the same example, the fish has taken shelter of the ocean, although very small animal, he can go against it. So, Siddha Sattama, Siddhas, here we have to practice to become Siddha, perfect. And they are, in the Siddha Loka, they are so perfect that they can go from one planet to another. The yogis can go, but they are born yogis. One planet, this is described in the Srimad Bhagwatam, we have seen, the second canto, there is Siddha Loka. So many planets are there, so many opulences are there, that it cannot be compared. There is description, so one planet to another, or one planet to the Sumeru hills, there is long millions of miles made of gold. They are gold. Similarly, copper. Similarly, there are different oceans. Now, we may not believe, but there is no question of believing. You cannot say there is no such thing, but we can say, because we get the information from the Shastra. You have no evidence, so you cannot say no. You can say maybe, but we don't say maybe, there is, because we get the information from the Shastra. Kasava kuto ayata, kasmadasya nisidata. Then why you are forbidding us? You look so nicely, very highly born, and why you are forbidding us? We have come here to discharge our duties, to take this man to Jamalok. He is so sinful. Why you are interrupting our business? Yes. So, the next verse says, the description is there of the Vishnu Duta. So, Sarve Padma Palasaksha, exactly the feature like Narayan. Padma Palas, their eyes are compared with the lotus petal. Very nice. Sarve, all of you, look so nice. Padma Palasa Aksha Pita Kausheya Vasasa. Vaikuntha people, they also dress with yellow cloth. t-shirt, Kausaya, or this saffron color. This is Vaikuntha dress. Kausaya, Pita, the dress, garments, Kiritina with helmets, Kundalina with nice earring, Kiritina, Kundalina, Lasat Puskara Malina, and very nice flower garland. This is Vaikuntha dress. Lasat Puskara Malina, Sarvecha Nutna Bayas, all young men. In Vaikuntha there is no old age. Although they are eternal. That is the real form of the spirit. The old age is due to this body, material body. Material thing is born and stays for some time and then it is annihilated. So, up to the time of annihilation, it becomes so old, nasty, bad looking. But in the Vaikuntha there is no such thing. Nitya Sasatayam. The Vaikuntha planet, because that is spiritual body, that is Nitya, Sasata. Never it becomes, just like Krishna or Narayana or Vishnu, they are not old. You'll find all these pictures of Narayana, Vishnu, Krishna, all young men. So they are also the inhabitants of Vaikuntha, the spiritual planet, they are also exactly of the same feature. You everything get exactly like God. This is Vaikuntha law. The opulence is also like that. Shasti, there are 5 kinds of mukti, liberation.
Please, conclusion, summarize everyone who wants to speak.
Hare Krishna, can someone start summarizing, please?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam. So here Prabhupada is telling about, so they are speaking, the Vishnu, the Yamadutta speaking to Vishnu Dutas. So they are looking so handsome and so they why they have come here and stopping this sinful Ajamila. So they are inquiring from Vishnu Dutas. So that's what from that it has started through. So why you are forbidding us like that? They are asking Vishnu Dutas.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. This is the story of the Ajamil. In this shloka, the Yamadutas and Vishnu Dutas conversion are telling us when snatching the body of the Ajamil, when the Yamadutas, then that time Vishnu Dutas also coming. यमदूत पूछ रहे हैं उनको कि आप कौन हो, कहाँ से आए हो, आपका उद्देश्य क्या है यहाँ आने का, आप भगवान हो या डेमी गॉड्स हो, क्योंकि आप बहुत सुंदर हो, भगवान के जैसे ही दिख रहे थे ना। यमदूत विष्णुदूत यानी भगवान के जैसे ही, भगवान के धाम में रहने वाले 4 हाथ जैसे हाथ और उनका परिवेश वगैरह सब भगवान के जैसे ही रहता है। तो उन्हें अचंबा हो रहा था कि ये कौन आए हैं और ये हमें हमारे ड्यूटी से क्यों दूर कर रहे हैं। वही डिस्कशन इस श्लोक में बताया हुआ है। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So they are saying that Yamaraj is also one of the most confidential devotees of Krishna. Swayambur, Naradas, this thing. So the 12 Mahajanas they are talking about. So the Yamadutas are servants of Yamaraja, who is in charge of the judicial function. So they come to execute Yamaraja's orders, as in whoever is sinful, they come and take the soul away from the heart of the person. So when they come there, they are finding that the Vishnu Dutas have also come there. Vishnu Dutas, they are describing about the Vishnu Dutas, the appearance of the Vishnu Dutas is just like Narayana himself. They are wearing Pita Vastra, then they are wearing helmets, and they are wearing kundalas, and their eyes are just like Padma, the lotus, this thing, just like Narayana. So the Vishnu Dutas are asking, we have come here to execute the orders of our master, but who are you? Whose servants are you? Kuta ayataha, from where you have come? And Kasmat, what brings you here? What is your business? And why are you forbidding us from executing our duties? Hare Krishna. And in this context, somebody else can continue. Hare Krishna.
Can someone continue, please?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Sorry. In this shloka,
Yes,
Hare
Rishikesh
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Yes, Kalyan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, bro. And he is here also telling about. I am adding the point. So the souls have taken to, when they are sinful, they have taken to Pataloka. But Yamaraj is also stays there, means he'll administer that place, but he not belong to that place. So as Mata said, he is a Mahajana. And according to, and one more point, description is given about siddhas. So according to the nature, so somebody wants to do yoga and mystic power, they goes to siddhaloka and make them, means they want to be perfect, and they will learn. For that they have to learn and practice that yoga. So like he has given example, the small fish swim in the swim easily in the water, and it goes against current also, but that is its nature. But but even elephant also washed away due to that currents, that much such big elephant. So according to the nature, the people will go and do those things. So if you take the shelter of Krishna, so we are also same the qualities of Krishna. That is what explaining Prabhupada here. Hare Krishna.
Very well summarized, Prabhuji. Can others add, please? I think Rishikesh Prabhuji wanted to say something, and then Safi Shiromani Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
बोल रहे कि कैसे समझ रहे नहीं हैं?
Okay. Rani Mataji wants to add something.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So they are talking about the Siddha Loka, which is also mentioned in the second canto of Srimad Bhagwatam. They are mentioning that when in the ocean currents are very strong, that even an elephant will get washed away. Nobody can swim against the current of the ocean. But just like that, if a person wants to become a yogi, one wants to have mystic powers in this material world, one has to do a lot of tapas, do a lot of yoga. By practice only he can do it. But the Siddha Loka, people are naturally born like that, have natural mystic powers when they are born. By their birth itself, they get the powers. So he also mentions that this is all possible because a person has taken shelter of the Lord, that even a small fish can swim against the current of the ocean, because the fish has taken shelter of the ocean. Hare Krishna.
Perfect, Mataji. So taking shelter of Krishna is very important. What it directly has been indicating. So, would someone like to add few more points which were discussed in the class?
Yes, Prabhuji. And their descriptions of Vaikuntha Loka is given. So, Sarve Padma Palakshasa means the Vaikuntha people are, it's look like Vishnu only, and they dress like saffron, and they wear helmets, and they have nice garlands. So they will be always in young, and there will be no old age like we are having here. After some old age, will our body will degrades. It is not like that in Vaikuntha. And Krishna, Narayana, Vishnu, they're all young only. They will not become old. So and in Vaikuntha Loka, everyone like Vishnu, same qualities. That's what clearly explained by Prabhupada.
Very nicely added up, Prabhuji, just as we discussed in the previous class. Anyone would like to add few more points? Prabhuji has started speaking about, Prabhupada ji has also started speaking about the 5 types of muktis, which he is now talking. Sashti, that is what he is talking, liberation. So that he'll continue now. And one more point which was there was about uh, how you can get a birth directly as a perfect person in the Siddha Loka. But even there, you are not very happy, because ultimate happiness lies only with Krishna when we serve him. And as is the given example of fish, that is very important for us practically for our what I'll say further growth, that we have to be like this small shape, surrender unto Krishna. Otherwise, even if you are as strong as an elephant and try to go against Krishna, then we'll be washed away. And that is what has been happening to all of us in these 84 lakh species. Repeated birth, old age, disease, death. So now is the opportunity as human beings that we get out of this cycle, be like the small sheep and surrender. So we'll continue the lecture further now.
One with the Supreme and lost our individuality, that is Vaishnava thinks as hell. Kaivallam narakayat. Why? We shall keep ourselves, our individuality, the body exactly like Krishna. In the Goloka Vrindavan, they keep exactly like two-handed Krishna. And the Vaikuntha, they also keep themselves four-handed as Vishnu, Narayana. So, the Vaishnavas are very intelligent. They want to keep themselves in as good as God, sometimes more than God. Vaishnava. That is very intelligent. And what is the use of becoming one? I lose my individuality. So that is Jnani's aspiration. But bhaktas, they want to keep association with Krishna or Vishnu in the same opulence, same prosperity, everything, bodily features the same, everything. So, Advaita Achyute Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navajauvanam. So Navajauvanam. Lord Vishnu, Narayana, Krishna, all the liberated devotees there, they are of the same bodily feature, Navajauvan, always young. Therefore it is said, Sarve cha Nutna Bayasa. Bayasa means age. And Nutna means just fresh young man. Nutna Bayasa. Sarve Charu Chaturbuja. All of you are very beautiful with 4 hands. So even the living entities, they have got four hands, not empty hands, with good ornament, good dress, and the complex hand, collar, everything like Vishnu. Everything like Vishnu. Sarve charu chaturbuja, dhanu nisanga osi gada shankha chakram bujasriya. And the weapons, dhanu, bow, dhanu nisanga osi, the arrows and the sword, gada, club, shankha, conch, and chakra, these, as Vishnu has Sudarshan Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. There are 14 different forms of Vishnu according to the position of the weapon in different hands. Beginning with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Then Chakra Gada Shankha Padma. In this way, this description are there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And according to the change of the weapon, the different names are there. One Vishnu Murti is called Vamana, one Vishnu is called Govinda. In this way, there are 24 forms of Vishnu, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, according to their placing in different hands. So, these Vishnu Dutas, they are exactly dressed like Vishnu, or equipped with ornaments and everything. Then again, Disha Vitimira Loka. And on account of their presence, they have got also bodily effulgence. As Vishnu has got bodily effulgence, similarly, the Vishnu Dutas, they are also the bodily effulgence, so that wherever they will go, it will be illuminated immediately. There is no necessity of light or sunshine. They personally, they make the place illuminated. Disho Vitimira. Timira means darkness, and B means without. Wherever they will be present. Therefore, in the spiritual world, everyone has got the spiritual effulgence. So whole planet is full of effulgence. Just like one example is here in this material world, the sun. There are living entities. They are also all light, because their body is made of fire. And many hundreds and thousands and millions of people with the fiery body, they are living, therefore you will find all a sun fire. Light. Just like you can see from distance, a big city, the light is coming up. Is it not? In the night you see a big city, and you are in the village, you find a big light is coming. That is artificial, electric light. But in the Vaikuntha Loka, normally, regularly, their body is light. We have got one example to learn. The sun planet, everything is fiery there. Don't think that there is no light. Just like they are concluding in this moon planet there is no light. No. Every planet is full of living entities, either in the Vaikuntha Loka or in this material. Sarvava, Sanu, Achulayam, living entities are everywhere. Therefore we cannot believe that these people went to moon planet, because they say there is no living entity. That is not possible. Living entities are everywhere. Even in the fiery planet, like the sun, they are. But we are rascals, we think everyone is rascalized. Atavat mannati jagat. If one is rascal, he thinks all others rascals. That is nature. He cannot think that somebody is more intelligent than me. He thinks I am rascal, therefore everyone is. Atavat mannati jagat. This is the formula. You will find the example just like a deaf man. He speaks very slowly. He thinks the other man is also speaking slowly. No. He is deaf, other man is crying, but he is hearing very slow. Therefore, a deaf man speaks very slow, it means that he is speaking slow. Chatavat mannati jagat. This is the nature. So, because
Hare Krishna. So can someone start summarizing what we have heard in this part now?
Hare Krishna. Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhupada was speaking about liberation, mukti. There is Sayujya Mukti, which is like merging into the Lord. But the Vaishnavas are very intelligent. They always want to keep that individuality. They don't want to merge into the Supreme Lord. Then Prabhupada was telling about that Vaikuntha planets, how Vishnu was there in permutation combination. There are 24 forms of Vishnu, depending upon the positions of the weapons that Lord is handling those weapons in the hands. Someone can continue, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Can someone continue, please?
Hare Krishna. I am telling only one point. यहाँ पे उन्होंने सन का उदाहरण दिया है कि सन पे भी जीव है, अपने जैसे एंटिटी है, लेकिन वहाँ की जो जीव है वो वहाँ अग्नि के जैसे है। और इसके लिए उन्होंने एक उदाहरण दिया है सिटी का, कि सिटी में बहुत सारे इलेक्ट्रिक लाइट जलते हैं, और यदि कोई विलेज में है तो विलेज वाले लोगों को क्या लगता है कि उधर से कुछ लाइट आ रहा है, लेकिन वो आर्टिफिशियल रहता है। आर्टिफिशियल रहता है। बस इतना ही बोलना था मुझे। हरे कृष्ण। दंड।
Hare Krishna, just to continue from what Mataji was saying. So basically the 5 kinds of liberation, and he speaks about Sarishti and then Sayujya. Sayujya means merging into the form of the Lord. But Gyanis and others, we are considering doing that. But as Vaishnavas, we are very intelligent. We want to also, we know that we are individual souls, we are different, and we also want to enjoy like the Lord. So we do not consider Sayujya Mukti very great, because we know that in Goloka Vrindavana, there are individual souls there who have whose spiritual forms, they are two-handed like Krishna. In Vaikuntha, if you want to go, there are all the living beings there have four hands like Vishnu. Like Advaitam, Achyuta, Anadi, Ananta Rupam. There are so many forms of the Lord, like Vamana, Govinda, and all. When you go to the different planets, so everybody can be like the Lord. So we want to be like the Lord, and we want to enjoy like the Lord. So we will get all the opulences like the Lord, with ornaments and good dress and complexion, color, everything is like Vishnu. So then, also they are speaking about how Vishnu has, like the Vishnu Dutas also, because they are coming from Vaikuntha Loka, they have the effulgence, the ornaments, the dress, complexion, color, everything is like the Lord. And they are not empty-handed. They have Gada, conch shell, Chakra, Gada, Padma, everything they have in the hand. And he is also mentioning about the different forms of Vishnu, which are there, 24 in number, depending on the position of the each of the this thing. Hare Krishna. And what Mataji had mentioned, like how in the material world we need the sun or the moon to illuminate. In Vaikuntha Loka, there is no need for any sun, because all the living beings there have a natural bodily effulgence like Vishnu. So when the Vishnu Dutas come, they have their own bodily effulgence, so they don't need the sun or the moon to illuminate them. Hare Krishna.
Very
Hare
nicely
Krishna.
summarized, Kalyan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. If I am not wrong, so we don't want to go there in Vaikuntha to enjoy. We want to serve the Lord, right? Yes, Prabhu. So if we want to serve the Lord, Lord gives us that such a form. Is Prabhu correct, na Prabhu?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
So that maybe Mataji, maybe I
Hare
heard from
Krishna,
that
Prabhuji.
verse.
I was just telling what Srila Prabhupada was mentioning. We don't want anything. Wherever we are happy serving the Lord. We don't even want to go to Vaikuntha. We don't want anything, any of the muktis. Hare Krishna.
I thought that enjoy means happy to serve. That is I feel so. It will.
Absolutely correct understanding, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And one more point I want to share. So Prabhupada is telling that living entity is everywhere. So people, the modern people, they think that only the people are in the earthly planet. So they are in sun planet, in moon planet, whatever the place, the living entities are there according to that nature. That is what clearly Prabhupada is explaining. So almost all points are covered. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So we'll continue further because we have covered almost all the points which were mentioned in this lecture. The only, I'll say from the scriptural point of view, one thing which we can use when we talk with others is Sarve Gaha Sthanor Achalo Ayam. This is what Krishna has said. Living entities are everywhere and I am also there. So we have to remember that. And now Krishna is going to further, Prabhupada is going to further describe how, because it's like the sour grapes example. The fox did not get the grapes and so he said the grapes are sour. So Atmavat Manyate Jagat. That is what Prabhupada is describing and he'll continue further. So we'll continue with the lecture and then have a conclusion discussion.
Because we cannot live in the fire, it does not mean that there is no such living entity whose body is made of fire. Because I cannot live in the water, don't think there is no living entity. Huge, big living entities are there within the water. Why should you think there is no living entity? Similarly, the watery living entities, they may think there is nobody in the land because they cannot live in the land. This is God's creation. Vichitra. Vichitra means varieties. Varieties. They are living entities on the earth, within the earth. You see, when you go to the beach, there are so many living entities within the earth. Or here, within the wall, there are so many living entities. Sarvaga, everywhere there are living entities. There is living entities in the water, there is living entities on the land, there is living entities on the air. Why not in the fire? Fire is also one of the 5 elements. Earth, water, fire, air, and the sky. So, if there are living entities in the water, on the earth, in the air, in the sky, what is the objection? Not in the fire. This is foolishness. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Imam vivasati yogam pratavana hamabhayam. I spoke this philosophy formally to the sun god. So unless there is sun god or the king of the sun planet, so if this king is there, the citizens must be there, the kingdom must be there, but they are made of fire. Similarly, in the Vaikuntha world, everything is spiritual. That we have to learn. We cannot make our own conclusion foolishly. That is not possible. So, these people never saw the Jamaduta, such persons with 4 hands, so decorated, so effulgent. So they were surprised that you are so nice. So disho vitimira loka kurbanta sena tejasa. By your personal effulgence, you are illuminating wherever you are standing. Disho kimathang dharma palasya kinkarang no nisedat. You look so beautiful and gentle. Why you are doing this wrong thing? You have come to discharge our duties and you are forbidding us. But they could understand that they are so powerful, they have stopped us to touch Ajamin's body. If we forcibly do, they can punish us. The Jamadutas could understand. Therefore, politely asking that you are so gentle, so good looking, so nice, why this is your business that you are forbidding us in discharging our duties? Kimathang dharmapalas. Dharmapala, we are also acting not whimsically, we are working under the Dharmaraj, Jamaraj, who is justice, how to make judgment against the sinful man. He is appointed for this purpose, and we are just carrying out his order. Then you look so gentle and highly exalted, why you are forbidding us? This is very... Kimatha dharma palasya kinkurang no nisedata. So, we get description of the Vishnu Dutas. Now at least we can think, if we are transferred to the spiritual world, how much happy we shall be, how much opulent we shall be. Here we are thinking, possessing one tin car, made of tin, and after 1 year it is smashed, and throw it again, and we become very opulent. So we do not know what is opulence there in the spiritual world. Not only in the spiritual, even in this material world. In the higher planetary system, there are many, many different types of opulence. Sarvaloka. This moon planet is also one of the opulent planets within this material world. So, that is very, very nice. But these people say they went there and could not find any living entity. So, if we believe in this one Bhagwatam, we have to conclude that these people did not go at all in the moon planet. You have to believe this or that, as you like. But we get information from Srimad Bhagavatam. The moon planet is one of the heavenly planets. If somebody goes there, he can live there for 10,000 of years. 10,000 of years means our calculation 6 times. Then 60,000 of years like of this planet. These descriptions are there. So, these are the ideas. One can understand what will be our opulence if by chance, not by chance, by our activities. What is that activity? That is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chame dibbam jujanati tat. You try to understand Krishna. Simply try to understand. Don't conclude that Krishna is like us, ordinary human being, maybe little learned more than us, or little powerful. No. He is the Supreme Personality of God. By His merciful or causeless mercy, He discerns to exhibit His form, His activities, so that He can see. Just like in the Buckingham Palace in London, Many people are standing. Sometimes the queen comes and stands on the corridor and everyone can see. That is Queen's mercy. Not that because she comes in the audience of so many public men, therefore she is also one of them. This is nonsense conclusion. Similarly, Krishna by his causeless mercy, if he comes, some restless say that God cannot come. Why? Why God cannot come? If he is all powerful, why he cannot come? Does it mean the God is subject to your dictation, that he cannot come? This is foolishness. Yes, God can come, therefore he is all powerful. He can exhibit himself to the audience of common man. But only the fortunate man can understand here is God. That is the difference. Krishna, when appeared, few men on this planet could understand that here is Supreme Personality, especially the Pandavas. They are so fortunate, they could understand Krishna is Kunti, their father. He could understand. The Kunti Stotra prayer will find how she had realized that Krishna, although he is playing just like my nephew, my brother's son, but no, he is the Supreme Personality. Even Dhritarashtra knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. When Krishna sent his messenger to Dhritarashtra, Okrut, to advise him that why you are envious of your nephews, stop this before the war of Kurukshetra. So Dhritarashtra admitted that I know that the advice has come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I am so unfortunate, I cannot give up this habit. Please excuse. So even Dhritarashtra knew. And what to speak of the Pandavas. So that is the defect of conditioned souls, that they want to see God. Even God comes personally, they cannot. They cannot. So who can see? Premanyana churita bhakti. One who has got love for God, he can see God all the time. Now what to speak of God comes personally before him. So we have to learn from the Supreme Personality of Godhead everything, what is the situation of this material world, what is the situation of the spiritual world, everything perfectly there is described in the Srimad Bhagwatam, and we have to learn, then our life is successful. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So can someone start summarizing, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So we, the same thing, we are our own nature to live a particular location, fire, water, earth. So the people think that water having animals, earth having animals. So fire is also the Panchabhuta. It is also having any living entities. So living entities everywhere. So that is, and one more thing, Krishna says. So in Bhagavad Gita, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyavayam Vivaswan Manavipra Manu Ikshvakavibhavit. So what is this knowledge? I already told before to Vivaswan, and So before, long before, millions of years ago. So the people are foolishly thinking. So we are concluding our own like that. This is not like that. This is not like that. So we are concluding our foolishly we are thinking. So like that explained. So Prabhupada explained. Hare Krishna.
So would someone like to add other points, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So this is basically a continuation of Atmavat Manyate Jagat. So basically, we try to conclude with our limited intelligence that because I am so intelligent, others are also only as intelligent as me. Nobody is more intelligent than me. So we think that with our limited knowledge, we think, okay, there are living entities on the earth, in the sky, in the air. But how is it possible for living entities to be in the fire? Because fire is very fiery. So with our limited conclusion, we try to conclude that is foolishness. This is what Srila Prabhupada says. And he also mentions that there are varieties of living entities in everywhere. Living entities are everywhere. This is mentioned specifically. And there are living entities also in the Svargaloka, in the moon planet, just that they have more opulences, they are more intelligent, they have more this thing. So people, when they went to the moon, they said there are no living entities here. So Prabhupada is even mentioning that they probably did not even go to the moon. Or maybe with their limited eyes, with their limited vision, they are trying to conclude that there are no living entities there. So in order to see God, we can see God only with the eyes which are tinged with the love of God as Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Only with, if our eyes are anointed with love of God, can we see God. So with our limited conclusion, we cannot see anything. Just like he also gives the analogy of the Buckingham Palace in London, where the Queen she comes to the corridor and she gives this thing to the audience. So we cannot conclude that just because with our limited intelligence, because she is also standing in the corridor, she is also one of them. That is not this thing correct understanding. It is because of the Queen's mercy that the others get the audience with the Queen. Hare Krishna.
Very nicely added up, Mataji. Would someone like to add a couple of more points and then we can close for the day?
Hare Krishna, we are missed this thing in between. So again, Yamadutas are asking Vishnu Dutas. So we are not acting whimsically. So we are also acting according to the order by Dharmaraj. So why are you forbidding us? So like that they asked. I missed after that. What happened? I missed. I think, Prabhu. So what they said or something I missed there.
Hare Krishna.
So basically, I was mentioning that with our limited this thing, we cannot understand. And if with our limited this thing, how we are saying that in moon planet there are no living entities, like that, if we conclude that Krishna is also he is born here, he appears on this material planet. How can God appear on the material planet? Then that is a wrong conclusion. God is Atma Maya. He can appear anywhere by his own. According to his own pleasure, he can appear. So we have to understand that God's activities are janma karma chame divyam. Only when we understand that there is any possibility of us going back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. This is what he had mentioned after that.
Basically, the discussion is about understanding the tattva. Janma karma cha me divyam yo janati tattvataha. And that tattva is Krishna. So anyone who is able to understand it, that is most important. So one important word from this verse today was Siddhatamaha. So here we find that even the Yamadutas could have been shot only by either the demigods or the sub-demigods or Sattatamaha. That is the best of the devotees. That is the importance of being a devotee. If you are a devotee, you are getting the best of the mercy of Krishna, and even you are in a position that you can even oppose Yamaduta, who is also one of the Siddhatamas. So that is how Krishna has always been very, very, what I'll say, inclined towards the devotees. And even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said, Arjuna, you declare to the world. He does not say, okay, I will declare. He says, Arjuna, you declare to the world that anyone who comes will never have to take birth again. Because he knows that he will have to fulfill his devotees, whatever is the promise which is given by the devotee, even if he is not fulfilling his own words. So being a Siddhatama, being a devotee is very important. And that is possible by this Navvidha Bhakti that we are talking about. Because finally, the intention has to be, how do we go to that stage of Premanjana Churitena Bhakti Vilochanena. We need to get that vision of that love. That vision is very important, and that will develop only on this Bhakti Yoga practice, which is something which Krishna has promised in Bhagavad Gita also. And that is possible through this Navvidha Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravanam is the very first part, for which we have this Nitya Bhagavad Seva every day. And in fact, we are very lucky that we are having this opportunity even on this, what I'll say, virtual platform now. So generally people say COVID has been a loss, but I believe personally COVID has been a profit to everyone, especially the devotees, because now we are able to listen more, have more associations. But at the same time, I would request that if possible, kindly do come to the center at least once in a week. We have this program every day in the morning. Then we have the Bhagwatam at 7:20. So besides the Bhagwatam on Zoom, we also have this Bhagwatam going on in the center as well at Kharadi. In the evening also, we have classes from 7, then 7:30 and then 8 p.m. So I request that every one of you attend those classes as well as and when possible, and kindly try to share this link to everyone, because this is what is the duty of those who are born in India, is what Prabhupada ji has been explaining in most of his lectures always. So we need to give this to everyone so that everyone comes into association, and together all of us are able to go back to Godhead and fulfill the mission of our life. So see you in the evening program again today at 7 and then 7:30 and then 8 p.m. Hare Krishna.